Hey y'all, this is Cyndee. I'm the Tireless Tangler. I want to welcome you back to my channel. Today is day 2 of our Inktober 2023 Tangles, and today's tangle is going to be Flame Flower. It is by Deb Bowyer, CZT, and the step out can be found on her Instagram account. So just go in Instagram and search for Deb Bowyer. This is what it looks like. It's a really pretty, I think she said it was based on poinsettias. And so I think I'm going to use some colored pencils in shades of red today. So if you want to pull out a couple of colored pencils, that'll be great. And we're going to put this pretty thing right in the middle of our frame from Be Light that we made yesterday. Okay, so let's get started. Okay. I'm going to try to keep my hair out of the video today, but no promises. I'm going to be using a brown PN, micron PN, and that again is just a pen with a bit bigger nib size than the standard 01s that we use. Okay, so Flame Flower starts with a bunch of little, orbs all clumped up together. Me and my shaking, we're going to do the best we can today and not worry about the results, okay? So just a little clump of little orbs, all right? That's going to be the center. And then the leaves, we're going to put 5 of them in. So I'm going to start straight up and down. I don't guess it's a leaf, it's a petal. And just make sort of an oval-ish kind of petal. And then I'm going to turn this and I'm going to make 2 more on the side, sort of like this. See if I can get this about where I want it. Then I'm going to put 2 more down on the bottom so that we have a total of 5. Now these don't have to be perfect, clearly, okay? The next thing to do is then to, I do a little S shape, sort of an elongated S shape, and then you put these little vein things in. And I'm trying to use a really light pressure so I don't overdo them. And of course, light pressure means shaking for me, so I'm not going to worry too much about what those look like, because once we put the color in, they will really be incidental. What you'll see is the colors, and hopefully we'll see how that goes. It was great seeing some of you in comments yesterday. Thank you for your support and love as always. A special shout out to Nancy Pierce, who has checked in on me over the last year and a half and just been really supportive. And I want you to know, Nance, that I appreciate you and all of the things that you're doing online to support the community and keep the group together. I think it's just wonderful that you have been able to do that. And I just appreciate you more than I can tell you. All right, so again, I'm not worrying about my shaking. I'm thinking of starting a new hashtag called Tangling with Trimmers. And maybe it'll start trending after a while. I don't know. Okay, so this is our first round. Okay, not all of them are the same. Not all of them are even, and it's going to be okay. So we're going to put another petal in each of these gaps now. Okay. Again, not worrying about the trimmers or the shaking. We are going to love it whether it is pretty or not, but either way, we are going to finish the tile and give it the love and attention that it deserves. And if it turns out to be one of our least favorite, that's okay. But as I am trying to teach myself, as I teach you, I'm trying to learn to finish it first and then decide. And I saw in a comment, I think on another video that came in not too long ago, somebody said they had an old sketchbook and they had ripped a page out of it because they thought it was so awful. And I think she said that because of something I had said in a video, she went back and finished it, and she said it is so beautiful. She's so pleased with it, and that just makes me happy, because that has happened so often for me as I tangle. My goal for this month is to work with my muscle memories and trimmers, and so I am sort of trying to embrace them. If you guys can stand to watch it, I will try to do it. It makes me sad sometimes, but it is what it is. And I'm here to prove that, at least try to prove that, even though my art isn't as spectacularly perfect, like, for example, my friend Annika of Zenlinia. And she's just an amazing artist. Of course, she always was, just naturally better than most people. But she's a wonderful person, and so humble and beautiful that, yeah. Anyway. Okay, now I'm going to go another round here, because I want to sort of fill out my area. And so I'm again going to go in the gaps, right? And so I'm going to go, it's going to be like come over this tip here. So, okay. River's over there snoring really loudly. Can you guys hear her? Maybe not. There she goes. All right, the question now is, do I want to do another one, or do I want to leave this where it is? So let's fill in our little veins and think about that for a minute. I have considered, oops, we're going to have a siren, and that's going to make the dogs bark. Okay. Yeah, here we go, singing. All right, Simba. Okay, they're going to sing for you guys. I hope you guys don't mind. Wait, let me shift the camera a minute. Okay, guys. Okay. All right, that was pretty. Hey. Simba. You guys sure have enjoyed this bark, haven't you? The puppy has trouble howling, but because Simba sings like he does, the puppy really, since he was little, wanted to howl just like Simba. And so he has this sort of half howl, half bark that he does that's just cute as heck. So anyway, that's what we deal with on the regular around here. I love my puppies. I don't know where I would be without them, but probably depressed and alone in some little tunnel somewhere in a hole. Okay, this is where I'm at. Now, I'm really tempted to keep moving and maybe draw behind my border. Let's see. Something like this. Yeah. Again, hopefully nobody will care once we get them colored and shaded and all that good stuff. All right, let's do another one here. Again, I am not going to worry about my wiggly lines. They're going to be fine. They're going to survive. And we'll draw this one behind. Just put a few in here. And here's another one we'll draw behind. Drawing behind just means to stop at the line you come to and pretend the rest is under there, right? it's a way to give things depth and make them look 3D, which is always fun. Okay, I think I've got one more over here. That one's going to be behind as well. Okay, I think that's pretty good. I think I'll stop there. It's got a little negative space around here, but we'll see if we want to stick a fill in there or something like that. So I think what I want to do here is round and emphasize lines on the outer edges. So I'm going to take all of these little corners, triangular spots, and I'm just going to put a little ink in there if I can do it without making too big a mess. Like this, yeah. Setz dich hin, bitte. Sorry, I've been talking to the puppy in German lately. Not sure it makes any difference to him. He ignores me no matter what I say. Schlechter Hund. Kleiner Ärger. Okay. Hopefully my head is not in the way here. Without the hair blowing in and out. Hopefully this will be a better video. I do apologize for that. It's going to take me a while to sort of get my swing in gear. So, you guys drop me some comments, get me some likes, and please, and tell the YouTube algorithm to start suggesting me. I didn't even make the top 50 today when I posted my video for tomorrow, or from yesterday. So yeah, I could use the help of the likes and the comments. That would be awesome of you guys, and you always do that for me anyway. Well, Cyndee, see, this is one of those moments where less is more. With me, less is almost always more. And see, I love this look. It sort of just ties everything together and just makes it look so much nicer. That's my opinion, of course. So you guys catch me up with how you're doing. Nancy told me in comments that she was also on a Ozempic and had some other stuff going on. So, you know, talk to me about whatever you got going on in your lives. Tell me what you are up to. I know a lot of you are doing probably a bunch of these Inktober challenges. There are a ton of them on YouTube, and that makes me happy. I am really glad that Zentangle has reached so many lives in such a positive way. I just really find that beautiful. I'm going to try this here, and I don't know what that's going to do for me. I'm going to look at this for a minute and just see if I like it. I'll continue with the outside edge. We'll make a decision later. I don't mind it, actually. It will certainly enhance the shading part of this. Oh, wait. Let me do some more. And we'll take a look. Be true to your shakes. Love your shakes. Embrace them. as I have had to do, the only way for me to be happy with my art was to start to embrace my fallacies, my weaknesses, I guess you would say. And that really changed a lot of my perspective on drawing and relieved some of my frustration with my shaking and let me do my art anyway, regardless of that. And that's a good thing. Okay, so I got the outer edge. I do kind of like this in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do some more of that and reinforce my lines a bit. I guess I could have done that as I go, but I frequently like to see the whole thing before I make those decisions. All right. How are you guys as puppies doing? And kitties. I know a bunch of you have kitties too. How are you guys as babies doing, your fur babies? Simba misses his howling pals. Hopefully with today's howl, they all got their time in for singing. Simba does love his singing. It is so weird that some dogs can do that and some breeds just can't. River doesn't get the whole howling thing. She just barks, which is annoying but cute. Okay. Let me be thoughtful about where I put these. Like, I don't think, well, maybe. Okay, that's not bad, right? That's not bad. So I kind of like that. So let's finish up. Also, is Angela and, I can't remember her friend's name that makes the turntables, the easels. Are they still doing that? Are they still selling those? Because I still get comments asking where to get one. And so I want to make sure I'm directing people the right direction. All right. Not bad. I guess I'm reinforcing all the lines here because I want to, and that's okay. Remember, it's your art, and if you want to do something the same as me, you do it. If you want to do it completely differently, you can. If you want to do completely different tiles, you can. If you want to make a big montage, a mosaic kind of a thing with them, go for it. Okay, I like this. This is not bad, which is a good start, right? So I think I'm going to maybe fill in these little things. I don't want to do too much. I want to leave a little white, but I'll come back through with my jelly roll at the end, I think, and just tap in some highlights, okay? All right. All right. There. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to switch now and grab my colored pencils. Okay, I'm going to use a Caran d'Ache luminance pencil. It's in purplish red. Okay, a good color for a poinsettia. I'm going to put this darker color down here at the bottom. Although I guess technically when flowers grow, the dark stuff isn't, well, maybe. I don't know. Sometimes the light is at the end of the petal and sometimes the light is at the inside of the petal. And it really just depends on what mood you're in, I guess, what you do. Oops. Getting a little crazy here. And I'm just making little circles and spreading it out here at the bottom. I'm going to use some mineral spirits on it and sort of smooth everything out. I like to blend with that. If you don't have it, it doesn't matter. There are other ways to blend these pencils. You can use one of those hard, what do they call them, that push in and sort of press in the color into the tooth of the paper. You can use those. That's my least favorite approach. It makes the colored pencil really shiny, and I would much rather sort of dissolve the color into the leaf as opposed to making it, you know, sort of really layered and you know what I'm saying. Work with me, people. All right, so I'm just going to put a little bit of this in, and I'm going to gradually change the color as I move out on the leaf. At least that's my intention. Maybe put a little orangey yellow out on the tips. But this is the way we're going to start and see how it goes. These pencils are lovely. They really are just lovely. They are wax-based like Prismacolors, but for some reason the wax content isn't nearly as heavy as the Prismacolors are. And so I haven't used mine just a whole lot yet, but I'm looking forward to getting to know them better the way that I know my Prismacolors, and to a lesser extent my Faber-Castell Polychromos. Polychromos. So anyway, and I got a new set of what are they called? The Prismacolor, the Verathins that we used a lot last time we were doing a project, and those are nice because they don't have quite as much wax in them, and the colors tend to be less opaque and more sort of light. You can see your pen strokes through pretty well and all of that. So, okay. So, all right. So this is where I'm going to stop for now with this. Now I need to find... Perfect. Be careful if you're going to do what I'm doing that your tortillon is clean before you get started, or you'll have black streaks in your color. Okay, so this is how I do it. Some people have a fancy little thing for it. I just dip my tortillon in there and let it go. So I'm just going to gently spread some of this out. I'm just going to do this in small circles the way I put the color in. And all this does is it dissolves the wax binding agent in the colored pencils and leaves the color into the tooth of the paper. If that's sort of a explanation that you can understand, I don't know. It just dissolves the wax binding agent in the pencil and releases the pigment onto the paper. When you blend, once you have done this and you've got some of this mineral spirit on your paper, then the putting on of other colors to blend with this is also much nicer and easier. And see, the extra line work, the extra weight with the pen is nice now because we've got color on there, and so the pen work is coming through really nicely. And some of these where I don't have enough pigment on to really work it in, we'll just add a little more pencil over it and that'll fit right in. And you know, most of you know that working with colored pencils is usually layers. And so I don't get real excited about mine in the beginning until I start adding my layers and, you know, adding more pencil here or changing it up there. Now, of course, once you've done this, there's no lifting color off of this. That color is in the paper. It is in the tooth. So hang on. Let me get a little more. There. I love unlocking the pigments. I love that mostly with my Prismacolors on the really dark, gorgeous ones. When I put this stuff on there, all of a sudden you can see all these vibrant colors coming out. I just love it. All right. So this is my favorite method of blending for colored pencils, but everyone has a different favorite, and no one way is right or wrong. So you just do what works for you. Okay, so now, let me put the lid on this real quick so I don't dump it. Oh, this is called Gamsol, right? That's what we get. That's the version that we get in the US, and it's 100% pure odorless mineral spirits, right? Okay, now I want to use a little bit. Is this the right one? Is this crimson? A little bit different color. This is just a crimson red. I was going to use the permanent red. Let me see if I can find that. Yeah. This is a more orangey red. This is permanent red. And so it's quite a bit brighter. And we're going to just touch some of this in towards the middles. And shift the hue, I guess, I want to say, as we go forward. And then I'll come back in with that purplish red and put some more depth in there. I do enjoy color. Something about it soothes my soul. It just makes the videos so long, guys. It's not that I mind spending time with you, but yesterday's video, I almost had to call my cable company and have a chat with them about it because I kept trying to upload it. For some reason, it's always better when I upload videos from my editing program, my film editing or video editing software, because it keeps track of any copyright strikes against me, and they fill out the paperwork for me to fight it, and so it's always the best choice. However, that was not working for me yesterday, or I would have had it up a day early, and it was not working. So I had to, sort of regroup and then do it separately. So that was fine. It was fine. I will not try that again for a while, and till I have time to talk to them about what's going on there. It was frustrating though, but it's done. We figured it out. We're here together, and that's the main thing. Sure hope I'm still in the frame. Probably not. Okay, did I get everybody? All right, and I think on the tip of this, do I want a yellow or do I want an orange? What do you guys think? One of these. This is golden bismuth yellow, and this one is apricot. I can see the apricot working really well with this, but the golden yellow will be so pretty. So I'm going for the yellow. We'll see what happens. So when I blend this, I'm going to want to start with the light and move down to the dark, and I'm going to want to make sure that my tortillon is clean when I start, so that I don't end up with a bunch of yuck. Yuck on my yellow yuck. You know what I mean. Ooh, then when we're done, we'll shade around here. Maybe I'll put in a little green on the background. We'll see. We'll just see what happens, kids. See, all that extra ink is a good thing now that we've got all this color on there. Keep it from getting obscured. I'll get this camera angle thing set eventually. It's a learning curve, guys. It's a learning curve. Oh, I miss you. I miss you guys so much. So we're going to do this month together, right? You guys are going to keep me honest, keep me coming back, keep me working, keep me real. So, all right, now, do I have my, one moment. I don't have my sandpaper, cleaning tortillons. Nope, that won't work. We'll go with the same one. We'll hope for the best. This is another way you can get rid of some of that color, is to put it in the solution and just clean it off like that. Okay. There we go. Now let's see how this goes. I'm going to, again, start with the yellow and move in. I'm going to smooth the tips out first before I start blending in the center, because I don't want it to get all muddy. I'm going to try really hard not to get any of this on my frame. Okay. All right. This zens me out. I do love blending colors. They just make the world so much nicer, right? Every time I see a beautiful color, it just makes me smile. Sometimes we have to work really hard, guys, to find the beauty that is in us and around us because of whatever situation we're dealing with. But really look, use your artist's eye when you're out and about and try to find the beauty around you in the small little things, like the face of your grandkids. I know my little Sally face makes me smile. Even when he's a rotten kid, he's just my adorable baby. So we got to find our happy spots wherever we can, ladies and gentlemen, and make our lives as good as we can make them by being that good in our own lives, right? That's how I feel. I spoke to somebody when I was at the hospital the other day who was checking me in, and she was talking about, she thought it was the end times, and I wasn't disagreeing with her. It's clear to me who the Antichrist is supposed to. I'm just kidding. But the point being, I said, no, we can't give up. We can't have that attitude that there's no hope or there's no point in fighting for good. Even as divided as our country is right now, it's so important for us to show our caring for others, to be willing to listen to their point of view, even when it's not the same as our own, to be willing to have conversations that are difficult without being angry. It's a tough world to be in right now. It really is. And I want it to go back to the time where we could disagree with people without everybody getting angry. And that's something we used to do in our family, was have really vigorous disagreements, but still love each other very much. And now I'm just deepening this inside track just next there, making this purplish red a little darker. I sort of like the contrast I got for the leaves between the three sort of shades of reddish. Don't worry, I'll smooth that out. And we're almost done. Just want to get these spots that are a little thin color-wise. I'm pushing a lot harder now, getting down through the layers and sort of pushing the color into the tooth. A little more firmness. Remember, that's why we do layers. If we push too hard in the beginning, then we can sometimes get results we don't want, and we can't change them at that point. So layers are the way to go. Oh, this was lovely. I really have enjoyed this. Fun. All right. There. Very nice. Okay. Now, let's see. What do we want to do? Well, I want to do some shading, and so, but what I want to use on my colored part for shading, I think, is a really dark, if I can find an indigo blue, something like that for shading. What I need is my Verithin thing, violet. I don't want violet. I want indigo, which is more dark. Well, there's black. I can use a little black. So here, I'm just going to use this a little bit to give some depth around these petals, right? Just as I would if I were going to use graphite, yeah. See how that sort of brings up the center set as we do that? The center row of petals, or whatever we're going to call it. I don't want to use too much, but just a little bit will do us some good here. And it's not much. I'm not putting much on there, just enough to lift up the petals off of the page. Just a little bit. All right. Now, what else? Okay. And if you get out of control like me, don't worry about it. Don't worry about a thing. Cause if only I was going on a cruise, that would be the commercial for me, right? If only. If only. At this point, it's so dangerous out there. I feel like staying home is a good option. Especially when you're broke, right? Gotta do what you gotta do. All right. Yes, I like. Oh, the shaking. Goodness. All right. So I really, really like this. What I want, though, is something in the background. And I'm thinking I will use a spring green. Yeah, this is spring green. And I think I'll just tap in just a little bit, maybe around the edges. Or do I want to do a fill in there? No, I don't. I just want this. So I'm just going to add this hint of green around the very edge. Not necessarily go all the way to the frame. I don't know. We'll see how that looks. Right now I'm just focusing on putting a little tiny bit of green right around the edges of this. I'm not pressing very hard at all. I don't want a heavy coat like I've got in here. Oh, this has been lovely today. Thank you guys for coloring with me and enjoying this Tangle Flame Flower by Deb Bowyer, CZT. And you know what I forgot to do yesterday was put my chop on this. And I figured we'll just do that today. You guys don't forget to sign and date the backs of your tiles, because I promise you in 2 or 3 years when you go back to look, you'll wonder what that tangle is, or when that was, or when did I do that, or, you know. And so it's really important to keep that information on your tiles so that later in life you can look back at all the beautiful things you've done. All right. Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah. And it doesn't need to go to the edges, right? So I also want to do some shading in here. Where's my pencil? With graphite. And that I just want to put around the very inside edge, so that we can show that it will more delineate and make it look like this is going behind if we have a little bit of shadow here. Which, now that I see how I shaded it before, is probably counterproductive, but we're going to go for it anyway. And I think on this side I'll just do that there, and this here, and yep. All right, now let's smooth that out. Not with the colored tortillon. I only do that because it's happened before, so I have to share. All right, yeah, that looks nice. Okay. All right, I like it. Time for the chop. Grab my pen. I think I'll put that in right over here. I've thought about changing my chop lately, but I can't decide what to do with it other than what I do, so. We're just going to do it like this today, because I'm feeling loved. There we go. All right. Now sign and date. Oh, my writing has gotten so bad. I don't know why I can draw better than I can write, but it is true. So bad. And this is October 1st, or 2nd, rather, 2023. And I'm going to put down here, Be Light. And Flame Flower. Goodness. All right. I think that's all the writing I can do. And this is day 1 of Inktober. (2023). Forgive the writing, guys. It's this part that matters, right? All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being with me today. And I am going to see you tomorrow for day 3 of the Inktober Tangles series. And I am excited to see you. I'm excited to see your artwork on Instagram. Don't forget to post and tag me in it so I can check it out. And I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. Bye.